Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday, and welcome to Candid Conversations with K and K. I am Kim Coleman, aka Sister Girl Speaks. Right next to me over there is Karen Mason. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning. I am Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets, and welcome. Cannot believe today, although it is officially Lincoln's birthday, and
Yes,
Lincoln's one of the presidents that all of us, especially us black people, like.
especially in the
It is
land of Lincoln.
land of Lincoln, because
Yeah, and
another
here we go.
president came from the land of Lincoln. Our
Yeah,
first
Reagan.
African American president, Barack Obama. But today is the day that the Lord has made, and we are blessed and glad to be in it. This is
Yes,
the
yes,
day
yes.
that we officially launched Candid Conversations with Kay
Hmm.
and Kay.
Yeah, yeah.
Happy anniversary, my dear.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. After about 30 shows, almost 1,000 people watching. I tried to do
Yes.
the math last night, and
Okay.
over 1,000 people watching. We launched this. We're going to talk a little bit more about it with Angel Gaines, who was our first guest, comedian Angel Gaines. But we launched this as a dating show. We were
Yes.
still in the pandemic. Well, we're still in the pandemic now, and we
Yes.
launched this as a show about dating during the pandemic. And Angel Gaines came on here and switched that whole thing around.
Sure did.
And her positivity, her outlook on life changed everything. So we changed the trajectory, is that the right word,
It
of this
is.
show. We have done shows on domestic violence, breast
Yes.
cancer awareness,
Yes.
shows on suicide prevention, shows
Yes.
on finance,
Yes.
breast cancer,
Grief. Grief.
grief.
We
We
did
have
shows
done
on
those
gun
shows,
control. Gun
yeah,
control. Can you
which
figure
we're
that
going to
out?
have.
Gun
We're
control.
going to have. We're going to have Damien on. Talked to him yesterday. We're going to have him on again, and so we have really been excited about. Excuse my voice, about what we have done here. And did you want to say more about that, Karen?
Well, here's the deal. Yes, we initially, now, even though Kim talked about the cover story, let's tell about the backstory because we're about to get candid for a second here. Now, prior to launching Candid Conversations, I had the wonderful opportunity to meet this soul
Yeah.
virtually through our big brother, and we have to always give him kudos, Mr. Art Chat Daddy Sims, who launched his show during the pandemic in March of 2020. And I have become a guest, as well as Kim was a recurring guest, because as y'all know, we did have an election that year, and Kim is one of the most politically astute women I've ever known. And so as she kept coming on the show, and I kept being guest co-host, we talked offline and said, you know what? She asked me about the dating thing, and I said, "Girl, I'm not dating nobody. I don't need to be dating in the pandemic." But isn't it hard dating in the pandemic? I'm like, "Well, yeah, I guess so." And then and here's the thing too. January 2021, I said out loud in my house, I want to do a podcast. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. And literally towards the end of January, Kim came to me and said, "You know what, Karen? I really like you." I said, "I like you too." And I wanted I have a voice. I have a voice too. Well, you know what? Maybe we should do a podcast. I said, "So what?" And I'm going to say it was one word. Yes. We didn't know how to do a podcast. Let the truth be told, right? But we had the initiative and the determination. Because both of us, as most of you know us, we are determined women. Don't let one thing we do. We do what we say we're gonna do. And so again, not knowing how to do a podcast, not like, okay, what's the first thing to do a podcast? We just said we're gonna go with it. And as Kim spoke on earlier, motivational speaker, educator, and comedian Angel Gaines was our first guest. Then I got real bold. I said, well, heck, I want to invite somebody else. And I happened to meet this other wonderful spirit, Miss Cheryl Grace. And I said, I'm going to ask her to be part of our podcast. I said, I'll be our guest. And you know what she said, y'all? She said yes.
Yes.
So she was our
Mm-hmm.
second guest. And then during our conversation, she said, I want to come back when y'all celebrate the 1 year anniversary. We were like, okay. So guess what, guys? We're back. And we're here to celebrate 1 year. So I will let my beautiful podcasting sister introduce Miss Angel, and I will do the introduction to Miss Cheryl.
Well, Angel has been blowing up. If you follow her on IG, she has been going around the country with hers. It seems like she has really blown up since being on our podcast, but she was blowing up before. She has appeared on shows with Daphne Springs, Earthquake, uh, Heartbeat for Entertainment Series Radio. She started out, she's a teacher by trade. And she has just been doing some phenomenal things. And I'll let her come up and tell her story. Good morning, Miss Gaines.
Good
Hello,
morning,
ladies.
Angel.
Oh, applaud, applaud, applaud. Happy anniversary.
Thank
Thank
you. And
you,
thank you for
sweetie.
getting up so early this morning. We know it is a
9
very
o'clock?
early
That's
there.
early?
Well, for some people it is. For some people it is.
Okay.
No, when I sent you the invitation and I
Mm,
said 11, and you go 11 your time, 11 my time. So I was
yes.
like, but for some people 9 o'clock is early. But you look fabulous this
Thank
You
morning.
you.
do.
You look fabulous.
I had to
Happy
match the I had to match the swag, Kim. Y'all come correct every, we got the neck piece with you. We got the beautiful, hair and makeup over there. Honey, I have to come. Listen, I know what Candid Conversations be doing. Y'all want to talk
You
about y'all humble beginnings, but y'all was fierce and fly, and that's why this calling became bigger than you ever imagined. Because
well, but
listen,
here's the thing, Angel. You understood and you completed the assignment. How about
yeah,
that?
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
let me just tell people that's watching why I think this podcast is so successful. And guys, you don't see the behind the scenes before they say good morning and hi and welcome. But these are some praying warriors. You hear me? And they don't just pray, they pray specifically and intentionally for what exactly they want. And when I tell you, they ask God for the attitude, for the guests to be on time. They ask for the tires not to go flat. They ask for the glasses not to blip. I'm telling you, these are prayer warriors. So it is not even at all slightly surprising that you guys are celebrating the anniversary, and I'm sure it's going to be many more.
Oh,
Well, thank
oh,
you. Angel, we just want to give kudos to you. As we
yes.
stated before, when we started this podcast, we started talking about dating during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm,
And you came on here with a spiritual flair
mm-hmm,
Yes.
and really redirected us into talking about some things deeper than
mm-hmm.
what we normally do. So we want to thank you. You are
Yes.
part of the architect of this of the way we're doing this, talking about breast cancer,
Yes.
suicide prevention, um domestic violence. So we want to
Mm-hmm,
thank you for that,
mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm.
we wanted you to come on here to joke, to give some jokes
Psych.
after watching your YouTube videos and everything.
Right.
Tell the
Hold, let me
people a
just get
little
this
bit
hair out my
about.
face real quick. I can't. I'm trying to reverse it. Here we go. I'm trying to
Oh,
You
reverse
trying
it
to
in
do
your
a
the
hair
camera.
dream girl?
is
I was
fierce.
like,
Don't
you do
don't
my
don't
hair.
get it
It was in
twisted.
my
It's
face.
fierce.
Okay. Now, yes, back to what you're saying. When, honey, let me tell you something. And I teach comedy for flappers. I teach and do life coaching as well. And one thing about me that I impart to my students, and I walk this in my life, is that I am in ministry as a comedian.
Mhm.
It's still ministry. Everything I do is ministry because I'm in front of people and I change the energy in the room no matter what happens. So as a comedian, I change the energy in the room by making it light. When I'm on podcasts, I change the energy in the room because I bring my light and I share my light. So it never surprises me when things shift and clarity shows up because that's how I showed up. And so the energy in the room, more light together makes a brighter light. And so sometimes you'll see other avenues or other ventures that you want to get into, because when we walk in clarity and we walk in purpose, it doesn't matter what we're talking about. We change and shift the energy of the room, which then change and shifts the energy in people's lives. So even though I
Amen.
tell jokes, I always tell people I do ministry.
Mm,
Hmm.
wow.
Amen.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing. I follow you. We both follow you on IG.
Oh,
Hmm.
You seem like
okay.
you've been just blowing up. Tell the people who don't follow you on IG, and people you should follow her, what you've been up to this past year, even when
Oh
we've
my.
been in this pandemic.
When I tell you the gratitude that I have for my life right now, some of the things I've been doing, I do more colleges now. So even next week, I'll be in Alabama, at a
Oh,
university out there, and I perform. I've been doing, taking acting classes and studying at Richard Lawson Studios. That
Oh
has
yeah.
been amazing. Yeah. So I've been doing a couple of commercials and things like that. As far as even more in comedy, I shot my dry bar special, so that comes out later this year.
oh,
So that's
wonderful.
my first stand-up special. And what else have I been doing? Just podcast and um honey, just whatever, opportunities come up. I read Shonda Rhimes' book long time ago, Year of Yes. So
You're,
I've
yes.
learned to say yes, yes,
Yes.
and that has been working tremendously. I am working on now some sketch comedy shoots for Just for Laughs submissions. It's a
Oh
comedy
yeah.
festival. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
working with some other writers, and we're submitting to the festival. So it's just all kind of like awesome things like that, doing a lot of private events as people are now opening up and being more, COVID cautious, but having live events and in-person events. Tonight I'll be at the Stand Up Comedy Club in Bellflower.
Right.
So it's just, I literally am so grateful, because when I get busy and everything, I just stop and I go, oh my God, this is the life I prayed for.
That you
I
want for.
prayed for
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That
I'm
is
living in,
wonderful.
yeah, I'm living in my prayers. I'm living in my vision boards. Um, and it's beautiful. And it's so funny, because when it all starts happening, you think that it's going to be a moment where it goes, it's happening. But honestly, you have to be in gratitude to realize it's happening, because
Yes.
it
Yes.
Absolutely.
just merges in, and then you have to look around and go, wait a second, this is what I was hoping for. And even on
Right.
days where I'm tired or I don't want to do it, or I'm back to back and I'm busy, I'm like, no, pressure is a privilege. So I've learned
Pressure
how
is a
to just
privilege.
pressure is a
Angel,
privilege.
did you get a chance to meet Bob Saget before he transitioned? Because who inspires you in the comedic space to
Right.
just to be the best?
Yes, I did not. Unfortunately, was not able to meet him personally, but I've seen him perform, live, and
Mm-hmm.
blessings to his family, and the survivors of his death. I would say I'm the type that glean from a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and I can also, just pinpoint specifically who does what. I always credit David A. Arnold for teaching me my work ethic. When I came into comedy, before I started working with him in his comedy classes, I had no idea you're supposed to like have a work ethic at this. Like, you're supposed to do it every day, and what you're supposed to be doing every day. It's just like an athlete, and what we
Mm-hmm.
have to put into it to be great. And so, from learning from his journey in his classes and things like that, I learned my work ethic. With Rodney Perry, I learned how to balance
Mm-hmm.
my life.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney is an amazing, amazing comic and
Mm-hmm.
friend. And he is one of those ones who knows how to feel for the artist. He's one of those
Mm-hmm.
ones that check up on you and be like, hey, you okay? Because it can get stressful. It can get, daunting at times. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
your gigs and things, your opportunities feel so big, and you have to remember you're equal, to the people before you and the opportunities before you. And then sometimes your mind will go, are you ready for this? That doubt that just kind of sit on the shoulder sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But you use it, you don't try to get rid of it. You use it, and you allow yourself to talk to yourself and say, you know what? Thank you for trying to protect me, but I got this. Um,
Mm-hmm.
And there's just other comedians whom I haven't met, whom I see podcasts or see them out, and I just glean from their stories and see how it can inspire me. And I learn from everybody, so it's really a collective when it comes to me.
We have two comedy clubs down here in Oklahoma City. We have the Ice Center, and we have Bricktown. So try
Okay.
to come down here
Yeah.
and see us down here. Some people, we're in the middle of the country,
Mm-hmm.
but we've had some great comedians. In fact, Bob Saget was supposed to be here this month. They
Wow.
sold
Wow.
out for the tickets for the Bricktown Comedy Center. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Angel, we just want to give a shout out to you saying happy belated anniversary for Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated.
Yes. Thank
Oh,
That's
you.
great.
okay.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you have coming up. Your website is below for people who want to get in contact with you.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse my voice. What do you have coming up? What are you looking forward to? And I audited some classes for the Richard Lawson acting school. Hope to do that more in the coming year. But what do you have
Yeah.
coming
Oh, wow. So literally, Kim, honestly, I live day to day. Like I woke up today and I was like, okay, I got two podcasts. So I have you and I have the real ones with Justin Hires later on today, and then stand up comedy club tonight. I'm off this weekend because honey, Super Bowl is in
Oh,
Los
that's right.
Angeles.
That's right.
And I was like, I don't want to be no parts because that traffic. Listen, all the introverts in Los Angeles is treating this like a storm. Okay, I got my food. I ain't going nowhere. You
I
know,
heard that.
it's just too much. But further down again, I'll be in Atlanta and Savannah and Alabama in 2 weeks. I'll be doing some shows there. And then what else is next? I have in Richard Lawson we work. So we have scenes that we put up. So I'm working on some scenes. We then shoot the scenes and put them on our reels and things like that. So that's always amazing. What I'm trying to think of further down, that will be March, April, May. So those are all travel months, so it's just like I'm popping up here, popping up there, and then again doing these podcasts, and it's just like Kim, when I tell you like ta 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 ta, I also open up for Jay Leno from time to time. I'm in that rotation.
Oh,
So yeah, so
Oh,
I just did that
congrats.
weeks like 2 weeks ago. That was about like my fifth time
I
opening
did
for him.
see that. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
see that.
So it's just, it's one of those lives where, it's exciting because they're all different. Again, I'm doing a lot of private events, and it's just great, and it's great to live one day at a time, because I just go, what I got to do today? Because you can get overwhelming, if it all comes together. So too quickly.
Now,
Well, we
now,
have a website.
Angel,
Oh, go ahead. I'm
before
sorry.
you go ahead, Angel, when
Mhm.
we asked you to come, we were talking about dating during the pandemic. Since
Yes.
this year has passed, have
Uh-huh.
you been dating? What's been going on in the personal life? Or you just
Getting
like,
in
you
their
know what?
business.
I'm taking we now this is Candid Conversations, Kim.
Right, right, right.
Let's keep it real.
Honey.
Um,
Mhm.
so have you just been taking care of Angel? What's been going on?
Girl, let me tell you something.
You already know what's coming when they say girl. When they do the girl,
Girl, when I tell you, I said to myself, I never realized that being in a relationship was not a priority. And let's be candid. I realized that. You know how I realized that? When things started moving forward in my career.
Yeah.
I was like, date it, whatever, I'm getting ready for this.
Hmm.
And we were all talking about this in the studio one day, and actually in our class, and they were bringing up how generally when women in entertainment start getting into a relationship, they tend to start moving away from their careers, because
Yeah.
then the kids come, and then they're making a home, and they want to be there to support the husband and things like that.
Hmm.
So traditionally that's what happened. But a nugget was dropped into my spirit by my acting coach Richard Lawson. and he explained to us. He said, you know, when that time comes that you want to, you know, be with a mate, he was like, and women especially, you know, you guys tend to move away from your dream, but don't fall in love. Don't fall in love. Expand in love.
I
Mm.
like
And I
that.
was like, ah. He said, if you fall in love, that is literally you stepping down from where you are. You fell into
Hmm.
this, right?
Mm.
So now you no longer control it because you fell into something.
Right.
But when you expand in love, that means you find a mate that you can literally insert into your vision and you don't miss a beat. You can keep going. So
Wow.
I think now is honestly, once I heard that, you know, a few months ago, I was like, okay, so now my dating journey has just begun because I date
Wow.
differently now. I date
I hear you.
men who I know can seamlessly, you know, get into the vision and our visions align and they match. And I think that's where when people kind of misquote all the time, equally yoked, you know, equally yoked doesn't mean like we have the same things. It means
Right.
that we can match each other's visions.
Yes.
And
I
so
love that.
yeah, and so now for the first time I'm dating differently because my old patterns and the old choices I would make no longer served me because that came in with the attitude of me having to adjust what I'm doing. And how many times have we seen like biographies or biopics and things like that where the woman is very successful and then she has to find a way to downplay and
Yeah.
cater to his ego and things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, because she fell in love. And so now
Right.
you're now down here trying to make this little space feel comfortable and you know make your partner feel safe. And it's like, no, I need, you know, the Oprah Stedman relationship. And I think that's what people don't understand is like, you know, it on the outside, you know, society will say that looks weak, you know, or something's wrong. But the truth of the matter is what they did was they figured out what works for them and
Right.
Right.
they
Right.
chose life partners that
Right.
didn't hinder their light. And the thing is, we don't know what Stedman got or what he does. You get
Right.
what I mean? Because he's not a limelight person. And sometimes in
No, he's not.
relationships, you don't need two limelights.
You don't.
You know, you need
Because
a
they don't mix.
exactly. So you need a front light and a back light when you
That's
get
right.
some good lighting. You know what I mean? So
That's right.
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I'm excited to you know interview the new candidates because it's a whole nother lane for me. So that was a long way of saying I'm single, girl.
I love it. I love it.
But
Love it.
that
Love
was
it. Love
great.
it.
You and just like you came on here a year ago and dropped nuggets, you did the same thing today.
Yes, you
So for
did.
those that want to get in contact with Angel, that is her. Forgive the comma there, but it is www. I need new glasses.
That's
Angelgains.com. For those of you who want to see her, she is around the country doing some great things, and I hope that she comes. We hope that she comes to Chicago, where Karen is, and we're
Yes.
woo.
manifesting that, and we're hoping that she comes to great Oklahoma City to do some great comedy as well.
I'm gonna do my best to get there, ladies, because you guys have
Okay.
inspired me. Those are uncharted territories over there. So I'm gonna try
And
to
you know,
get
we,
on in
we
there.
will welcome you with open arms, Angel. And we're just,
Thank
you know,
you.
as we're about to close, well, we won't say close Black History Month because we have to remind the vanilla version Black History is every day.
Every
But
day.
come March, we definitely women every day. So,
Yes.
you know, happy Women's History Month as we're going to close out Black History and Women's History. Whatever you need for us to do, you know, we're a phone call, Facebook message, IG away, which is we're just so proud of
Yes.
you. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for saying yes.
Yes. And happy anniversary, ladies. This has been amazing. Call me anytime. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you so
sweetie.
much.
Take
You have
care.
a great day. Bye bye.
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 ah, oh my
That was
goodness.
great.
I tell you.
Um, I apologize for that comma.
That's okay.
My
We're
eyes.
we're still works in progress. Now, even though we're a
Yeah.
year later, we still works in progress. We're gonna get
Yeah,
it right.
I apologize for that. But I think I have Cheryl's right. Could you introduce our next guest? And Cheryl, I did get your message. Could you introduce our next guest, please?
Oh my goodness. This woman is no stranger to us, but this individual, even when you see her, she's about her last name says it all. She's about grace. Um, she left corporate America, though she's been in corporate America pretty much her entire professional life, to live the next chapter of her life and really helping people live their best life. But we're going to talk about, not only we're going to talk about welcome her aboard, because she was our second guest last year when we first launched Candid Conversations. But given the fact, y'all, even though it's Super Bowl weekend, on Monday it is Valentine's Day, or some people put Galentine's. I don't know what the hell that means, but okay. But one thing I love about this woman, whatever she sets out to do, trust and believe it, y'all, it gets done. Period. If you need a vision board, this is the woman that you want to speak to. Ladies and gentlemen, another shero, Miss Cheryl Grace, CEO of Powerful Penny LLC. Hey, Cheryl!
How are
Hey,
you?
ladies, how are you? How are you? Hello,
Good, how
hello.
are you?
Happy anniversary. One
Thank
year,
you. Thank
right?
you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That
Thank
tenacity is clearly paying off. So, welcome to
Thank you.
the next year.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Cheryl.
And Cheryl,
Thank
I
you.
have something to show you
Okay.
here.
Yay!
Does that look familiar?
Yes, yes. Did you
So
use it?
I have been using
Okay.
this. This is so for those of you who all don't know, this is Cheryl's Eating Pink Elephants 2021 calendar. I guess I got to get 2022,
Me
where you
too. I
put
get
down your
2022.
goals. Yeah, you put down your goals, your action plan, and this has really helped me, Cheryl, in my budding acting career, furthering my education, and for getting my financial situation, which has been tremendous better. So right after you were on the show last year, I ordered this. I told you I would, and I did. And this has been, is you can see, it's a little ragged, but I've
That's
been
good.
using it.
We like when it's raggedy because that means you are putting it to good use. That
Yes,
means
ma'am.
you are gobbling up those pink elephants, which are your
Yes.
big audacious goals. I heard you mention three of them: acting, finances, and what was the third one? There was a third one.
Finance, education,
Education.
furthering my
Education.
education.
Boom. So you clearly are working on them, and that is the best way to achieve your goals. Is every day take a little bitty teeny weeny bite out of
Right.
those pink elephant goals, and at the end of the year, you should be gobbling them all up.
Yes, yes. So thank you for that.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you for purchasing it.
Yes, yes, yes. Karen, did you have a question for our guest?
Well, Cheryl, since you came, I know since you've been our guest, you've been doing some magnificent things. Why don't you tell our audience what have you been doing, what you're gonna do, and as we're approaching Valentine's Day, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you back is how to empower yourself to get the person or life that you want.
Well, things have taken off this past year. And I am unapologetic about that because I have been living with intentionality. And what I do is I help others live with intentionality too. I coach particularly women, but I also have male clients how to live a fabulous life at work, in love, and at home. Because I think when we marry the three of those areas and we show up in our fabulosity in all three of those areas, we really are living our most fabulous life. And so, to that end, we've had boot camps that have helped women accomplish their professional goals. Boot camps, we're in one right now that's helping women get through their love goals, how to find and keep a man. And this weekend, Super Bowl weekend, their homework assignment is to get out there and flirt. So I got all of I call them privates because it's a boot camp. Woo-wah. So
All
they are
right.
out there flirting and they have to come back next week with results of at least 3 episodes in which they made eye contact,
Yes.
eye contact,
Oh my
look
goodness.
away, look back,
Oh my goodness.
flirting, right? So they're out there
Okay.
doing that on all the unsuspecting men in the world this
Oh my
weekend.
goodness.
And basically I've created a line of what I call empowerment tools that help you get to the goals that you want and the dreams that you want to bring to life. And so we've got journals and planners. We even have right now, I am giving away for free because it's the month of love. I am giving away for free the Fab Girls Dating Journal,
Oh,
aka the Kissing Frogs Tracker. And
okay.
literally in
Tell us
there,
more about that.
in there, we help you define what your goal for dating is. And then we also help you track as you go on dates, how you're feeling on these dates, what your thoughts are about the guy, if he is getting to a second date, if he's getting to a third date. And if you make it to the third date, we want you to share how you're feeling about this particular guy and what you want from him. And by the third date, you should be sharing that.
Oh
So
wow.
it's all tracked in your little journal. It is at Cheryl's Shop of Fabulosity. You can download it for free. Just click on all products and you'll see the frogs, the journal down there. They got frogs all over it. You can't miss it.
Okay.
Download it and you'll get a copy. And we want you to start being intentional about finding love. And what better time to start than the month of love so that next year, this time, you are not alone.
I want to ask a
Okay.
question about that because, now we're still in the pandemic, but things are loosening up across the country. What are your thoughts about online dating? And I'll give you a good example. I'm going to use me as an example. I still get little messages from like the social media called Instagram, Facebook Messenger, sometimes LinkedIn. Oh, you're just so beautiful. Can we have a conversation? I have no problem chatting, but when they start talking about, and one person did this, I love you, and I'm like, yeah. See, they don't know me. I'm from the South Side of Chicago. I don't believe in that love at first sight type of thing, especially when you're online. How do you coach your privates to that's right, if they're approached by those we still about to get Canada. That's the name of our podcast. How do you approach your privates when they're approached by people online and you haven't met them? And of course, we're all good with words, but is it truly real when you have that type of relationship?
Listen, Private Mason, it's
Yes,
all
ma'am.
about being transparent and honest and treating
Yes.
others like you would want them to treat you.
Okay.
So, first and foremost, you do want to make sure you're always being safe. And I do encourage online dating as part of the process. Not the only process, but as part of the process. But you want to make sure that you're being safe as part of that. And so ensuring that you're having digital conversations first until you reach a comfort level for you, not one that works for anybody else, but your comfort level. Once that's been satiated, then you can move to real phone calls, right? And then when you're ready to meet that person face to face, you ask him to send you a copy of his driver's license. You
Mhm.
want to confirm
Mhm.
that he is who he
Mhm.
says he is.
Mhm.
And then you pick the spot where you're going to meet and you send someone you trust, a girlfriend, somebody that you know will put on some black and come looking for you. You
Mm-hmm.
need that. You put on, you drop a pin on your phone so they know exactly where you are. And you send them a copy of his driver's license.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So everybody knows, and you're not, and any guy who is going to balk at that, that, if he's balking at your safety at this point, he's not the guy for
That's a
you.
red flag. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what you want to do is go on at least at a minimum 3 dates. And what I talk about when you say, what happens when you get these oddballs or whatever, I want you to think of them, and this is what I teach my privates. Think of them as opportunities for, like you just did. You just told us a story and we laughed about it and you engaged us with it. If you are not into a guy, consider the fact that he's going to make a great story, and you're collecting adventures, you're collecting stories. That takes you out of the mode of, oh my God, this has got to work from a love perspective.
Right.
No, I'm going in, and if I don't get anything else out of this, I'm going to get a great story.
That's a
And,
good.
and and you know I'm a writer, Cheryl. So the fact that I could put this as part of my next book, I have no problem with
Yes.
that. Because I just find it interesting when men approach me in this venue, and then a week later, oh, I've fallen in love with you. Now, our sister Angel Gaines had already said, don't fall in love, have your love expanded. So that, when
Exactly.
she said that, my whole trajectory now has changed. So I look at things totally different. So it's just interesting. But I wanted to share this story to our audience because I guarantee you, if I've gone through it, some of y'all have gone through it too and not willing to say it. So I have
And
no
that's why
problem being.
stories, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's why stories are so important. And that's
Yes.
why you have a sense of shared experiences when you
Mm-hmm.
can share, like, yeah, I went through this. I had one of my clients who got catfished, and
Oh,
she had
no.
been married for 27 years. So, this whole online dating thing didn't even exist when she got
Right.
married, when she was out there
Right.
dating. So when she came back out into the dating world, she got catfished, and but she had learned from me how to identify whether or not you're being catfished. And she said,
Mm-hmm.
I did what you said, do, Cheryl. And I was stunned to find out that
Right.
because she goes, I'm smart. And I had been catfished. But she didn't let it stop her, right? She
Mm-hmm.
kept going and she got engaged. Not
Oh
to
wow!
not to the guy,
Congrats.
not to
Right,
that
of
guy.
course. Right.
But she stuck with it because she was looking at it as a part of her adventure, a part of her story. And if
Mm-hmm.
you can start looking at your kissing frogs this way, one
Mm-hmm.
frog down, 99 more to go until you find
Okay.
your prince or your king. If you can look at it that way and take it as an experience, you're going to have fun with this dating thing, and you're not going to take all of that anxiety into a date, which you're placing then on the guy's shoulders, and he's got to live up to all that because you built him up in your head, and now he's got to
Yes.
be this magical unicorn, and that's a lot of pressure for any man.
It is. It is. I would suggest that some of you look at the Netflix special Tinder Swindler.
Yes,
There
I
was
saw that last night. Did you watch it?
I watched most of it. I haven't gotten
Okay.
through it yet. And
Okay.
it's a gentleman who has gone through all of these women and who have given him money. He came off as this rich person and who had given him money, but some of the women made some very, very bad decisions.
Oh
And
Lord.
so they all need to take Cheryl's class
My
or
boot
have
camp.
a coach. And if they did, they would not have been swindled as this gentleman swindled
Is
these
he in
women.
jail? I just want to know if he's in jail. Now
No,
he
he's
gonna
back
get he
out.
gonna
And
well he gonna
somebody
get a
say
beat
he's still on
down.
Instagram.
Somebody gonna beat him down. I guarantee. Next time you hear the story, be like, "Damn it, K. Renee said he was gonna get a beat down. He gonna get a beat down." You know, do stuff like that.
Sure, let me ask you, as a professional that you are, what is your best advice that you give young women who are who are working, starting to work, or even women who have been at home and want to go back in the workplace? We are in a time right now where people are really reinventing themselves. I'm in the process of doing that. What is some of the best advice you can give people um, in this new era of resignation? People are resigning from jobs. What is the best advice you can give people?
Yeah, the Great Resignation has impacted the U.S. economy and individuals, millions and millions of individuals. And the thing to keep in mind about it is you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional about designing the life, the career that you want. So it starts with establishing clear goals. I'm all about goals, whether it is in your love life or your professional life. It really comes back to, first of all, knowing what you want and being clear about it and being unapologetic about it. And then once you have established a clear cut goal, you need to start putting milestones and metrics next to them. So if your goal is to land, and people say, I want a job. And then I say, what kind of job? Well, one in communications. What kind of job in communications? One in communications where I'm leading a team. What kind of team? And I just drill down and drill down until it becomes apparent. I want to be a director of communications for a global brand out of the New York market, making $100,000 a year. That's a clear goal. That's a goal you're going to be able to determine whether or not you achieved it. And how do you go about it? So you name the types of companies. So then you start reviewing and interviewing the types of companies you want to work for. I make sure that all of my clients, you have at least a list of 20 companies that you're going to start interviewing and going after. You're not going to wait for those companies to come to you, but you establish those metrics, those milestones that take you from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 until you get that job and it works. Last year, I had a young woman. We started working together in December. She said she wanted to be working for a sustainability company in the DC area, making $150,000 a year at a director or higher level. That was in December. And when she got that job offer in July, because she thought she was going to have to leave the company to get there, but she did some things along the way that positioned her for her next level. Like, it's not just going to happen. You have to do things that are going to position you for that success. And so we spent those first 3 or 4 months positioning her. When she made that phone call and told me, Cheryl, I just got a text. My boss wants to give me 155,000. Her goal was 155,000, and they want to change my title to VP. I can't believe it. I'm looking at my vision board right now, and there it is. And I'm like, but we've worked hard to get you there, and we have shown that you're worthy of this.
Yes.
So my first piece of advice in answer to your question, Kim, is to be intentional.
Okay. I love that. I love that.
A lot of times, I just want to say, a lot of times people think that great lives just happen organically. They're not. They're planned. Overnight success is not overnight. It is planned and plotted out by people who are very strategic in bringing their dreams true.
That's great. And saying it, manifestation. We talk about the law of attraction and all of that. And that's why your planner really helped me with last year. I got 2 plays. I got a commercial, and also, and not some of it wasn't just getting things, but it was, because when you get into something like acting at the age of 53, I'm be 55 in a couple of weeks, you wonder, do I have it? And so people who are in the industry, who are high ups, who have worked with Denzel and Whoopi, are telling you, you got it. So that was a goal as well. So thank you for this planner. Thank you for this. Helped me. I got to get the 2022. And Kieran, did you have anything else for our guest?
Well, no, I just want to ask you, what is next? I know you are just one busy lady, and I follow you faithfully on social media, and just
Same
really,
here.
when you make steps, I'm just like,
Yeah.
because this child was on Daytime Chicago, which I was
Yep,
so
she
proud
sure
of her
was.
about. But what's next for you, Cheryl? And the one thing, as I said, ladies, in her intro, whatever she puts out, sets her sights to, she does it. I mean, she walks the walk and talks the talk in every aspect of her life. But what's next for you now?
I'm really excited. I'm looking to have a recurring role on daytime TV, so I'm working on that. and I have my boot camps that are coming up. So, and my group coaching programs, right? So, Kimberly, things like what you said you were working toward, sometimes people just need an accountability partner. They need someone who can take those goals and break them down into milestones and metrics. I help people do that. So we start that on February 24th, and it is a 3-month program. So I am accepting folks into that program right now. I also, and this is really important because I believe if I had had someone like me in my life back in the day, I would, gosh, I don't even know where I would have been at this point in my life. And so I give back by doing Live from the Pink Couch, which is a web series where I coach live for individuals at different points in their career, help them for free get to where they say they want to be. And so that starts on February 24th. So the one starts on the 22nd and the other one starts on the 24th. And I'm accepting candidates to be interviewed right now. So if you have never had a job, you just graduated from college, you're my newbie. If you have been working and you're looking for that promotion, you're my hopeful. If you got laid off, quit your job, or got fired, you're my hopeful. If you are looking for a promotion, you're my rising star. And if you are like, Kim, getting ready and starting a career that's totally different, like acting, you are my career 2.0. And I am coaching live in real time those 4 individuals and accepting, candidates for interviews right now. So we got a lot.
Awesome.
We're going to finish off with our privates and make sure that they, find the love that they're looking for and that they're positioned to go out there for success. So it's a lot on the table.
That's awesome. I hope I got the website correct. Cheryl Shop of Fabulosity.com, not comma. Sorry about that first part, but thank you so much. You look fabulous this morning. Thank you for spending some time with us. Perhaps we'll hope to have you on the second anniversary of Candid Conversations with K&K. But we know that you're very busy, and thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning.
I welcome the opportunity to come back, ladies, and wish you well. Congratulations again on your anniversary.
Thank you so much.
Many blessings. And before I let you go, one thing, as you were sharing your story, just reminds me of my first spiritual mom, who was also a February baby, who's no longer with us, the Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman. Always says, your life may be the only Bible that someone else reads. Y'all watch this one. Because you reading, she reads every day. So Cheryl, again, I am just so proud. You are definitely one of my sheroes. I cannot wait to hopefully physically see you, because we live in the same area. But I'm still about wearing that mask, because I'm not stopping wearing that mask. But we love you, we bless you, and we are so proud. Continue living in your purpose.
Thank you, ladies. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Have a really good day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Woo!
2 great guests.
My goodness. We had a master class today. Even though it was our anniversary, we were in class today. I feel like I'm in class. I got to salute.
Right. Well, first of all, again, we want to say happy Black History Month, the month that other people really celebrate us. We celebrate us 365 days a year,
Amen.
7 days a week, 12 months a year. But we just want to give a shout out to those who have come before us. We owe, I was in a clubhouse room the other day, and a gentleman got on there and said, in the last election, Black people shouldn't have voted. We should have held our vote and not voted at all. And I really had to hold my tongue. People have died, gotten beat up over the head. Salute to John Lewis.
Yes.
For us to have the right to vote. For
Amen.
for us to even care and live in the places that we live.
That's
Black
right.
people couldn't have lived in some of these places that we live now. The schools everything that Black people have done there is blood on it. Everything from breathing to dying. We know neighborhoods in Chicago. Was that Skokie? Skokie? Where black people couldn't move it. And this is recently. This is when did black people start
Heck,
moving to
even
Twitter?
Hyde Park. Shoot, that's not that far from my house. Couldn't live there.
A few years ago, I think before I moved, a boy got beat up when he drove his bike into Skokie. Is that Skokie? So
Yeah.
this is in our lifetimes. Kay, Renee, and I are the first generation who were born with all of our rights.
That's
So
right.
this whole thing, and we're going to have a show coming up, everyone, about critical race theory. We have that
Yes.
coming up in March, I believe, and we
Yes.
hope that you all tune in. But we need to know our history. We need to understand what it took for us to get to where we are. Our ancestors could have never dreamed of some of the things that we do. Never in a million years. In a million years. So we have to celebrate, like we say, all year long. But
That's right.
because of this month, as I said last week, go to a museum, COVID safe. Read about some of the things Kay Renee is posting on her page about what Black people have created. I didn't know a Black woman created the sanitary napkin. Kudos to
Hello.
her.
That's right. Okay.
Please, please.
She
You
should
know,
she should be on the $20 bill. God dog
she
it.
should be on
I love
the
I
million
love
dollar
her in
bill.
Tubman, but she should be on the $20 bill. That's all
Really,
I'm saying.
really, because that sister got me through.
Okay, me
So,
too.
so we just want to say, and it's not just the famous people you hear about. When you
Exactly.
go to the museum in Birmingham, where the four little girls were blown
Were
up,
bombed and they were
were
murdered.
bombed,
They were murdered.
murdered across the street, and I should know the name of this
I went to
Ingram
that
Kelly
museum.
Ingram Park, Kelly Ingram
Right.
Park, where the young kids were hosed down. When you go there, there is a wheel in front of the, I believe it's in front of the museum, and
It
it has
is.
names of people who you'll
That's
never
right.
see in the history books
That's
who were
right.
a part of that movement. Of course, the famous statue of the Reverend Shuttlesworth, who feared
Is
no
there.
one.
He didn't.
And there's a really good soul food restaurant down the street from there, which I should be going to. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, go to these museums, go to these historical places, take your children, learn about our history. The Jewish people have a thing. They say never forget. And I'm going to tell you something. They keep that going. They keep
And
that
we
going.
need to keep
And we
we need
need
to
to
keep
do the
that
same.
going too.
Right?
We
We
should
need to do
never
the same.
forget.
Never forget. So we just want to say Happy Black History Month. We'd like to get candid for a moment.
Oh goodness gracious.
You want to start?
Ah, see, I don't know. I see. I'm in my Zen space. I don't want to get out of my Zen space, but basically, one of our highest esteemed congresswomen, and she's part of the Black Caucus,
You're the chairman of the Black Caucus.
chairwoman of the Black Caucus, Miss Joyce Beatty, Democrat from Ohio. She told one of her Republican colleagues to wear a mask. And
Now,
this little so and so, he's from Kentucky. Need I say more?
so what?
Told her,
me
let
say-
me finish, and then
Oh,
you
go
go
ahead. I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Told her, tapped her on the posterior, and just wouldn't just being very belligerent. Now let me just say this to y'all. If any man taps me on my posterior and I didn't give him permission to, I don't give a damn who he is. He's going to get smacked in a not so pleasant place. I commend Representative Beatty for having the restraint because there are times when I have restraint and there are times that I don't. That was one of the moments we will not be restrained. But go ahead, my sister. What were you gonna say?
Well, let me put it in a different context. So what?
Please do.
Um, when you go to the Congress, when you in Congress, there are buildings outside of the main area. So in order to get where they vote, so some of those are buildings are named after former congresswomen, former I don't know if any are named after former congresswomen. Um, so they're the outskirts of they're the outskirts of Congress. In order to get to the main building, they have like a train, kind of like the trams in Disney
Mm-hmm.
World if you've ever been there, and they
Mm-hmm.
take them to Congress to vote, where you see the State of the Union. It's a very tight. I've never been in one, but it's very tight in there. So Congressman Beatty, because they were going to be on this in the train together, asked this gentleman to put on his mask. Now, Beatty is a 71-year-old Black woman. She
Mm-hmm.
probably has pre-existing conditions.
We hope she doesn't, but
We hope that she doesn't, but you know, as you get older, sometimes you do.
right.
And she's looking out for herself and her family. So she asked him to put on a mask. He said no, poked her in the back and told her to kiss his ass. Now, first of
Mm.
all, you don't talk to someone that way. Man, woman, dog, you don't talk to someone like that. She is the chairman of the Black Caucus. She is an esteemed congresswoman. Looks fabulous, by the way. Now, imagine if that were Cory Booker doing that to, let's say, Amy Klobuchar, even though they're on in the same party. You would have heard an
Or
uproar.
Liz
He would be
Cheney. Or
asked,
Liz
Liz
Cheney.
Cheney,
That's
there you
what
go.
Liz
He
Cheney.
would have been
Yes.
asked to resign. I mean,
Yes.
White Ring Radio would have had a fit. Now, Congressman Rogers did apologize
Mm.
right away. But the audacity of him to think that he had the right to poke a woman in the back and say, kiss my ass, shows no respect, no home training of any kind. It would never, there are a lot of congresspeople that I do not like. It would never occur to me to say something like that to any of them because my parents raised me right. The 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 temperature in this country has gotten way out of hand. And Donald Trump has some of you all thinking you could do some of the things you do.
Y'all keep thinking that.
No,
That's all I got to say.
respect
Keep
us.
thinking that and see
But
what the end result will be.
we are
Because
not going
here's the
anywhere.
we're not going nowhere, and we're not going to tolerate it. Again, we've said earlier in the broadcast, and we're going to keep saying this. Never forget. In
Yes.
fact, we're dedicating, since it's now our new year, every month, once a month, we're just going to have a conversation about just getting candid. So y'all better get ready.
And
Man.
that's our candid for today. We just want to give a shout out to the Los Angeles Rams, the Cincinnati Bagels. Have a wonderful game tomorrow. Be safe. I don't
Please.
know about you, Kay, but I am looking forward to the halftime show.
Oh, of
I
course.
can,
I probably won't watch the game because I got other things I need to do. But this is a different halftime than most halftimes. And for those who do not like hip hop or rap, however you want to call it, then y'all need to just turn away because I really feel that the artists that they're going to be performing at the halftime show, they're gonna rock it. And don't be surprised. One person, I believe it was you, They may have put that another icon, hip hop icon, may appear or be on the sideline. So for those who really want to get their groove on, check out the halftime show tomorrow, and then again Monday, because we won't be back until next week, is Valentine's Day or Love Day. But remember this: Love Day is every day. Love is self love. Love yourself first. Because after everything that you may have learned from this broadcast today, if you don't take time to love you, you cannot attract the person that you need, that you desire in your life. So take the time, not only just on Monday, every day, to love and respect you. And before we close, I gotta give this nugget. And this nugget, I always give
I
a
hope I
nugget.
have this.
Give it.
I hope I have this website
You
right.
got it right, sweetie. This nugget comes from Kenneth Chenault. And Kenneth Chenault, love the last name, he was the first African American CEO of American Express. And he says, dedicate yourself to a core set of values. Without them, you will never be able to find personal fulfillment, and you will never be able to lead effectively. So, as we close on our anniversary episode, and this beautiful Saturday here in Chicago, and I know it's beautiful in Oklahoma because my podcasting sister is there, know your core values, because you cannot be able to have a better life for yourself if you don't know your values, your core values. So, with that being said, I'm Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets. My podcasting sister is Kimberly A. Coleman of Sister Girl Speaks. Thank to all of you for sticking with us this first year. We're just getting started, y'all. We'll see you. Have a great Wednesday. Wednesday. Goodness, I'm thinking Wednesday already. Have a great Saturday. My apologies. Happy Super Bowl weekend. And happy Valentine's Day to all of you.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You can see that at our Facebook page. Subscribe to our channel and our YouTube channel. Don't forget to pray, praise, and push. And we'll see you all next week.
Saturday.
Next Saturday. Same time, same back channel.
All right. Bye. Love you guys. Bye.